Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 14th, 2025, and Barcelona have set a YouTube record, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Also, Barcelona have generated 75 million euros during this summer transfer market, and we're going to go over those numbers. And finally, how Barcelona are planning to register Marcus Rashford and the remainder of the players. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that Barcelona have set a YouTube record, becoming the most followed sports club in the world on the YouTube platform with 23.8 million subscribers, surpassing FIFA, who have 23.6 million subscribers, and the NBA, who have 23.3 million subscribers. Now, Barcelona had initially become the first club to surpass the 20 million subscriber mark, but with Barcelona streaming those matches on the preseason matches and the Joan Gamper Trophy match on the YouTube on their YouTube channel for free, that made sure that Barcelona became the most followed sports club in the world on the YouTube platform, again with 23.8 million subscribers. And this just goes to show that Barcelona is still one of the strongest sports brands in the entire planet. And of course, this is great news because a strong brand, well, means more money, right? Strong brand is what makes people go to the stadium and buy tickets. It's what makes people buy merchandise. It's what makes people turn on the TV and watch Barcelona. And it's what makes sponsors want to do deals with Barcelona and pay a lot of money, given how strong the brand is. So this is definitely good news. And of course, a strong brand also means players wanting to play at the club. And this is why we've seen so many players say no to more lucrative offers from other clubs to come to Barca. Because again, despite our economic problems, Barcelona is still one of the strongest sports brands in the world. And, you know, we have to capitalize on that. And I hope that Barcelona are able to retain those subscribers, because after all, that also makes money through YouTube channel. But a lot of those subscribers joined when Barcelona were airing those free matches. They're not going to be able to do that anymore when the season begins, because obviously La Liga, the rights to La Liga are held by TV networks, the same with the Champions League, etc. So I hope Barcelona can come up with a good plan to maintain those subscribers and continue growing them, because again, that just means more profit for the club. All right, speaking of money, let's talk about how much Barcelona generated this summer transfer market. And well, they have generated a total of 75 million euros, and that comes in the shape of salaries saved and also transfer fees, and finally making money off players that Barcelona still owned rights in who made move to other clubs. Now, let's look at the numbers of how much Barcelona generated this summer transfer market. Of course, with the departure of Inigo Martinez to Saudi Arabia, Barcelona generated 14 million euros of fair play. Because that was the salary of the player that they were able to remove off their wage bill. Ansu Fati's loan to Monaco, that freed up 12 million euros on Barcelona's books. Clément Lenglet, free transfer. Well, it wasn't really a transfer. He rescinded his contract and then joined Atletico Madrid on a free agency. He freed up 12 million euros on Barcelona's books. Pau Victor's move to Portugal, 12 million euros fixed plus 3 million euros variables. Those 3 million euros are not being counted because Barcelona have not received them yet, so that's not part of the total. Just want to make that clear. Alex Baye moves to Como, generated 6 million euros in a transfer fee. Pablo Torre to Mallorca, 5 million euros in transfer fee. Sergi Dominguez, 1.5 million euro transfer fee. Noah Darvic, 1 million euro transfer fee. Iman Cospo, 400,000 transfer fee. And then we have the players who Barcelona made money off because they still owned rights in them. Todibo to West Ham, Barcelona earned 8 million euros. Ludovic Reis to Club Brugge, 1.75 million euros. Ilaish Moriba to Celta, 600,000 euros. Ferran Jugla to Celta, 50,000 euros. And finally, Alex Collado to Al Shamal in Saudi, 0.5 or 500,000 euros for a total of 74.8 million euros that Barcelona have generated this summer in financial fair play. Now, of course, we're not under the one-to-one rule, so we're only going to be able to reinvest 60% of that. But nonetheless, not a bad summer where there hasn't been a lot of movement. Can you only imagine how much more money we could have made if Deco wasn't our sporting director? Anyways, I don't want to be negative 75 million euros, not bad for a slow summer, or what's considered a slow summer for Barcelona. All right, on to the next bit of news, because as you know, this Saturday will be the return of the new La Liga season, which I'm very, very excited about. But we do have bad news, because Robert Lewandowski has been officially ruled out from the Mallorca match because he's still suffering from discomfort in his left thigh, and that's the same injury that also saw him miss the Joan Gamper Trophy match. And as I mentioned in previous videos, the report stating that Lewandowski could end up missing the first 3 fixtures of La Liga, and as such, he did not train today with the team. And of course, the question is, who's going to replace him? Is it going to be Ferran? Is it going to be Marcus Rashford? Of course, this is assuming that Marcus Rashford does get registered. Otherwise, he cannot play. But if Marcus Rashford is registered, my feeling would be that it's going to be Ferran Torres, just because he's been around for a lot longer. He's gained the trust of Flick with his good season yesterday. But I think eventually with time, maybe we'll see Marcus Rashford, go ahead of Ferran Torres in a pecking order. But for the first match, my guess will be Ferran Torres. Now, Jules Koundé and Marc Casado also did not train with the team. However, the reason for that is that they were doing a special program, a load management plan. So they're not ruled out. They are going to play. They were simply just trained separately because there was another plans for them. And then, of course, we still have Rashford and Rooney Bargi, who are yet to be registered. And as such, we don't know whether they're going to be traveling with the team to the Mallorca match or not. Now, speaking of Marcus Rashford, we do have to talk about how Barcelona plan to register him, and how do they plan to register the other players like Wojciech Szczesny, Rooney Bargi, and Gerard Martin, who will now become a first-team player. Now, as you know, Barcelona have already gotten the green light from the La Liga Medical Committee to register Joan Garcia in the place of Mark ter Stegen. Barcelona have yet to officially register the player. Hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow. But of course, there's still the question of Rashford and the rest. And it's reported that Barcelona are hoping to register them with a preliminary report from the auditor. As you know, Barcelona sold rights to the VIP seats at the Spotify Camp Nou in exchange for 100 million euros. Their auditor, Crow, said that Barcelona could not use those 100 million euros, or could not count it as revenue, because the seats had not been built yet. The seats are now built, so Crow, the auditor, are generating a new audit, a new report, where Barcelona expect them to say, yes, Barcelona can't count those 100 million euros as revenue, and as such achieve the 1-to-1 rule, which would allow the club to register all the players. But Barcelona are not too sure whether that report is going to be ready by the Mallorca match, which is only 2 days away. So Barcelona are trying to see whether they can use a preliminary report, not the full detailed report, but a shorter one, to see if they can convince La Liga, like, look, yeah, this is not the full report. This is the preliminary report, but the full report will come, and the full report will say that, yes, we can use the full 100 million euros, and see if maybe La Liga oblige or not. And if they do, they would be able to register Rashford and the rest. And if not, they're going to have to wait for the full report, which means that Rashford and the rest could end up missing the first match of La Liga. All right, let's end this video with an interview that Joan Garcia has made, where he discussed his desire to move to Barcelona and whether he had doubts about Barcelona register him or not. Now, this is what the newest signing, or the newest goalkeeper of Barcelona, had to say. It's a great club with qualities that great clubs have. The truth is, I'm feeling very comfortable and very happy. Of course, talking about how he feels here at Barcelona. Then he was asked whether he had any doubts about coming to the club, being that, that he's an Espanyol, or was an Espanyol player. And he said, I never had any doubts about my future or my sporting side. Obviously, coming from Espanyol, there are a few more doubts, but I didn't have any on the sporting side. Now, he was asked whether he was worried about his registration, or if he's worried about his registration at all. He said, I haven't suffered. In the end, when I signed, I already knew what I was coming. I was, and I'm ready to face it, and I'm calm. I've been calm all this time, and I still am. That's why they tell me, calm, that everything will be fine, and I have faith in them. And finally, talking about the Espanyol fans, and, them being upset about him coming to Barcelona, say, I understand them. I understand a little of the pain they may have felt, the disappointment. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about them, that I hadn't had some difficult days thinking about them. But in the end, it was the decision I had to make for myself, for my family, and for my future. So that was Juan Garcia's words during his interview, expressing how happy he is being at Barcelona, that he never had a doubt about coming to Barcelona, that he never had doubt about Barcelona being able to register him, and of course, sympathizing with the Espanyol fans because, he did move to Barca. But at the end of the day, I think what the fans need to understand is that Juan Garcia, like anyone else, is always going to be thinking about what's best for his future, and going from, a third-tier team to one of the biggest clubs in the world, of course, is going to be in his best future, in his best interest. So I don't know why they would be mad about that. But anyways, those are the words of Juan Garcia. Let me know what you thought about that interview. And of course, let me know what you thought about all the other news that I share with you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And as always, Visca Barça.